Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Chad. It's been a while. Welcome back to the channel. We're back for now, and I cannot wait to show you all the lineup of videos that I have planned for this week. I've got everything from top 10s to game reviews and criticisms, and just kind of sitting down and giving my thoughts on a certain topic, such as this video where we're going to talk about kind of the state of in the lifespan of Infinite Warfare and how things have gone. Maybe not the whole in-depth story, because that would take me hours. In fact, the first version of this commentary was about 19 minutes long, and I've had to cut it down by almost 10 minutes because I had a couple of things in there that were interesting to learn and kind of random and maybe didn't fit with the general theme of the commentary. So I hope that by editing things out carefully, that doesn't hurt my message. Either way, I'm going to let you guys enjoy it or not. If you don't, make sure to leave some constructive feedback in the comments down below. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Let's get into it. I made the conscious decision to openly support Infinite Warfare because it had more potential in my mind to push the franchise forward because it was new. I didn't care to hop on the hate bandwagons, nor was I concerned about the fact that some of the gameplay mechanics within Infinite Warfare resembled those of Black Ops 3's, because thinking logically, Infinity Ward were only trying to either reestablish or build upon the systems that made Black Ops 3 successful or that people enjoyed within Black Ops 3. They weren't copycatting because, by the way guys, same franchise, but there is no such thing as copying from other Call of Duties because they're all links in the same chain. Sure, all three development studios behind Call of Duty have their own signature modes and methods and styles, but there is really no such thing as them copying one another because they all own the same brands and the same licenses and the same names and still operate under the same publishers and most importantly, are trying to build products for the same series, for the fans. And if you take away popular mechanics right after they're established, then there is no consistency. There is no drive for fans to come back and expect a fun Call of Duty experience. Sure, the franchise has changed a lot over the past couple of years, but if each game from now on is going to be drastically different from the other, there won't be enough of a connection between the games or familiarity to bring the devoted fans back, which is bad because then you lose sales. Therefore, in the end, Infinity Ward were just trying to keep things consistent. And at the very least, they established a new setting, a new story, a new narrative, a new idea that the franchise really hadn't touched on before. Being a longtime fan of the franchise who's been around, long enough to see the games evolve from, let's say, World War II to Vietnam to modern, back to World War II, back to maybe early or near future with Black Ops 2, without too much lashback. I kind of convinced myself over time that the followers and fans of Call of Duty had become comfortable with change. And it wasn't until maybe Ghosts or Advanced Warfare that I stopped seeing that kind of consistent, relatively positive response. There's always going to be hate, there's always going to be glitches and bugs and bad days, but overall, the reaction to Call of Duty as a whole changed drastically upon the reveal of Call of Duty Ghosts, which is not a commentary for this video, or a topic for this video. But the point is, I've watched a lot of my own friends' interest in the franchise and my even friend groups and whatever dissolve over the years. And for the longest time, I wondered why. Why is this happening? Is there a limit to how many games I can push out of this franchise and still keep people on board? Or did the games or the developers or the fans make a mistake? And it seems as though the inability to either accept change or the inability, or the more recent inability of the fans to effectively communicate with the developers and the publishing teams. And it doesn't include everybody. This is not the entire COD community, nor is it the sole cause of the problem, but it is prominent. I see it every day, and it's just frustrating to put so much time, effort, thought, money, investment into these games, hoping that someday we, the community, can reestablish those happy mediums that we once had when it came to communication and support and constructive feedback, and not just going out there on Reddit and forums, Twitter, social media, sending death threats, and spreading an overall message or feeling of hatred without being able to settle down, get serious, and give them the constructive feedback that they need to make a better product for all of us. That's the fun of game development. The fans and the developers working together, not against each other. And that's why I feel like COD has made itself into the internet's biggest joke. 3.5 million dislikes on a single trailer. I mean, just talk about overkill. And that's not to say that Infinite Warfare is perfect or that people don't have valid reasons to get angry, to be vocal about it. But I don't feel like every fan, or a lot of fans, most fans, approach the game like they should have. They gave in to pressure, they jumped on the bandwagons, and they didn't learn to listen or vocalize respectfully. And that ruined Infinite Warfare for many people, including me, a fan who really tries to give every game a fair chance, like we should. That's why I've grown, I've developed this horrible habit of labeling myself as a true fan, which is a very crude and elitist phrase to use, but I use it to draw a line, to prove, to show that I feel separate, divided. I don't feel like I'm on the same playing field as the community anymore. I am an outcast of a community that I was once so proud to be a part of. In the games I have, for the longest time, prided myself in playing and supporting over all these years. It's been a blast, and I'm sure that I've probably closed a lot of doors for myself, socially and academically, just to make room and time for a hobby that I love, whether people value that or not. I would love to be able to walk away from Call of Duty one day when the time comes and say, I've benefited from this. I had a great time doing this. I've learned stuff from this. I've met great people playing these games. But at this point, despite how much I've enjoyed and loved Infinite Warfare, this whole thing, this past 3 years have made Call of Duty and gaming as a whole, for me, feel more like a risk than an investment. Which is frightening, obviously, because now it feels like, well, first of all, that investment has failed, it has overturned, it's not going to benefit me anymore, and all the things I've put into it over the past 8 years are just going to flop. But more importantly, I feel like no matter what I say or do, or how much time or effort I put into these games, that people's opinions and their reactions aren't going to change, if not very easily. So it's a matter of how much more effort am I willing to put into something that is that feels like a losing battle. Which, come to think of it, is a perfect explanation as to why Infinity Ward, the devs, have seemingly struggled to keep Infinite Warfare in good working order. You know, bugs and glitches fixed, and the guns balanced, and why the leaderboards and the emblem editors weren't there upon launch. I mean, sure, a lot of these things could have been missed or delayed for many reasons, funding or staff changes, which there have been a lot of staffing switch arounds, Activision's firm grip on the company and the series, because they are very money hungry, and I don't know how much freedom they give the developers to do certain things. All these factors surely have played into the presentation and the state of Infinite Warfare. And at the end of the day, I feel lost. I feel horrible. And I'm sure that Infinity Ward feels the same way. It sucks to see 3 to 4 years of your work, of your hard work, of hundreds of people's hard work, people who left their families to make a goddamn video game, just fall to nothing. And now both Infinity Ward and fans, and I guess fans like me, feel like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Again, there is no escape, but there is still time to optimize the experience for the fans and users who have given the game a fair chance, who do play it, who do support it, and I'm very proud to be a part of that group. I never wish to be the fanboy, the dick-riding consumer who just makes everything sound perfect, because it never will be. Nothing will ever be perfect in the gaming world, especially not nowadays. But I'm trying the best that I can to promote the positive, open-minded approach that I believe once made Call of Duty a lot stronger, and the games a lot more enjoyable, because everyone wasn't caught in this cloud of negativity and confusion. In all honesty, I hope that COD World War II rekindles the excitement within the community, brings old fans back, and I hope that it succeeds. I mean, I'm not ecstatic about the setting or the genre of the game, just that sensation of, I've been there, I've done that. I'm just not currently invested in that era. But I guess Activision knows what's going to pull in the money, and I'm going to see how the game, and maybe even Destiny 2, same publishing team, come out. And if this fall doesn't really impress the gamers, I don't know how most of the major FPS franchises are going to fare. A lot of them have suffered from a couple of low points in the past couple of years, and I just, after all this time and investment, I hope that something finally...
What you want, huh? This is my stage, this is gonna stay. Pass now for DLC packs for one great price.